Hey guys, it's Beth, and welcome back to some more Dead by Daylight. And after the absolute shit show of a match against Ghostface that we had last time, I figured, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just go all out and just rank all of the killers on how bad the matches against them are going to be. So I'm gonna start from the top and work our way down, as you know, most fun to least fun. At the top of the list, we have Demogorgon. I think it's physically impossible to have a bad match against Demogorgon. Demogorgon is just such a fun killer to go against, and while they're more common now than they were before, being reintroduced into the game, they're still really cool to see. It's like an extinct species coming back from the brink. Or I guess endangered coming back from the brink. You know what I mean. It's always nice. Wesker is up next. Now, a lot of people have issue with Wesker because they used to be fairly common to see. You used to see them, like, pretty much every other match. Oh, hey, there's a Wesker. But personally, I always enjoy going up against Wesker for my own bias towards Resident Evil 5, first of all. But also because I think that his mechanics are really fun to go up against, and it adds something very interesting to the game with how much mobility he has, and, you know, just, you have to play around his chase very smart, so I enjoy it quite a bit, to go up against him. Oh, Carlos patched me up. Next up, we have the Dredge. Now, Dredge is a very interesting character, where there is so much strategy that goes into the survivor side against Dredge that it's always interesting. Needing to manage your resources well with lockers, needing to play very smart because they can teleport to you fairly easily as long as there are actual locker placements on the map, which doesn't always happen, admittedly, but it can definitely be a nuisance for the Dredge. But their ability to, you know, find you and head across the map, they have a lot of good perk synergies with stuff like Make Your Choice and Devour Hope. So they can be very, very strong. And they definitely have a fear factor to them, which makes them really, really fun to go up against, in my opinion. Next up is Nurse, and a lot of people are probably going to question that one quite a lot. But personally, I think that matches against Nurse are some of the most fun that you can have, because anytime I go up against a Nurse, it's basically just a test of my looping skills. Like, it feels like you really are, like, pushed to your absolute limits to do your absolute best. And I enjoy it quite thoroughly. Nurse is always... And Nurse plays so different to any other killer that the... Ooh. That's rough for me. That playing against them is just so unique and presents so many additional, like, opportunities and different experiences that I quite enjoy going up against them. But I understand why a lot of survivors don't. But personally, I think the added challenge is pretty fun. Personally, at least. Up next is Deathslinger. And, you know, I don't know if I've seen a toxic Deathslinger. I don't know if that's actually possible. Deathslinger is a character that requires a lot of skill to be very good at. And, you know, I don't see them all that often, probably because it's a character that takes a lot of skill and is a bit clunky to play. But I feel like they're a lot of fun to go up against when you do. They play very different from other ranged characters, even. And I think of all the ranged characters, they are one of the most balanced ones overall. Oh my gosh, that dude was flying. Holy shit, look at him. What's my plan? Uh-oh. Hey, bud. Is he actually coming up? Oh shit, he is! Oh! I got stuck on the present. Oh well. My B. Okay, moving on to the good matches tier. Trapper can honestly go in the top tier or the middle tier, because, and I kind of bridged the gap and averaged it out, because Trapper can be very fun to play against, especially against a very skilled Trapper, because you need to use your brain, as strange as it is to say. A lot of times you kind of autopilot looping, and what, no, girl, not here, move over at least 2 inches. The thing with Trapper is because he can trap loops efficiently, you have to pay attention to your surroundings and understand, oh shit, there is risk to each movement I make. I have to pay attention, and in Chase I have to be fully aware, which I feel like is a very, very interesting part of his kit. However, Trapper can also be a very, very, very bad matchup if all they do is play around basement, and then it's not really fun for anyone involved, to be perfectly honest. But that's less of an issue with the killer themselves and more the player base. Please don't, please don't, please don't. I was just hooked. I was literally just hooked. Please don't. Hey, man. Be chill, be chill, be chill, be chill. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? There's not enough safety over here. Who brought us to this map? Why would you... Wait, hold on. I'm fine. I haven't been injured yet. Well, shit. Okay. Unfortunately, Overcome came at a bad time there, because that loop is it's too good to waste like that, and I don't want to waste my Overcome as well. Okay, I need to heal myself again. Next up is Oni. Oni is a character that I think really, like, it tests your skill going up against an Oni, frankly. And I think that they are very fun to go against. The main issue with them is that occasionally you can be playing perfectly fine, and you go down because your other teammates gave the Oni too many free hits at the start. That can be a problem, but that's not on Oni. I think overall, juking his insta-down is really fun, and I enjoy the way that he plays overall. I think that his chases are very fun and intense, and I think that, yeah, it's just fun. Oh. And then we have the Blight. Blight's up that high for pretty much the same reason as Nurse. The main reason that Nurse is a bit higher is that Nurse has been nerfed enough that, like, you can pretty much, like, play against her and know what you're getting into. But with Blight, all of his add-ons are so messed up and screwy that it can be a completely different match with some complete bullshit. And it's just, sometimes it can be very unfun, to be perfectly honest. But that should be changing soon. How was he able to move back from that so quickly? That's crazy. Oh well, that's my B, honestly. I played that poorly. There's no pallet here. That's bad for me. There's no pallet here either. That's double bad for me. I wish I was able to sit on a gen for 10 seconds at a time in this match. Holy shit. Oh well. Next up is Twins. Twins is fun to see because they are not even an endangered species. They're extinct. No one plays them. Like, it's just, especially since right now the fun combo for people to run is For the People Buckle Up, which essentially removes Twins from the game. Yeah, it's not fun to say the very least. It's quite shitty. But they can be fun to play with as a survivor, if you want to, you know, abuse the fact that some of the most common perk pairings in the game right now completely destroys them on a level that just is frankly not fair. I think my decisive is going to run out. Oh, shit. Okay, please pick me up, pick me up. Please, no, my decisive, please, no. You couldn't have picked me up a second sooner. Thank you, Claudette. Oh well. That's fine, I can't complain too much. That one was mainly down to my own misplays. I couldn't really do much that match. Alright, next up on our list are Hillbilly and Cannibal, also known as Leatherface. And, well, frankly, I have the same thoughts for both of them, which is that they can be incredibly fun to play as, but frustrating in certain circumstances, because sometimes it feels like their insta-down was a bit unavoidable and that there was nothing you could really do against it. Personally, I prefer facing Cannibal a little bit more, because a skilled Cannibal is incredible, and a skilled Hillbilly is just all of them. Pretty much the only people who play Hillbilly nowadays are the ones who were insanely strong with them back in the day, and basically just have a sunk cost fallacy about a character that has unfortunately been nerfed to the ground. But it's uncommon seeing a truly skilled Cannibal, because a lot of the times people would just use them to abuse face camping. But with the addition of the anti-camp measures, I actually haven't seen them that often. Even though the anti-camp is far from perfect and certain characters can even abuse it, you don't see Bubba around anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Next up, and one that I feel like I'm going to get a bit of pushback against, is Skull Merchant is in the perfectly fine category. Not fun, but not unfun, because honestly, there's just not much to her. She's a very, very basic killer that has basically no effect in her power if you just, you know, play smart and avoid the beams. Like, if you just crouch walk through her beams, you're fine. And if you're being chased by her, well, just don't run into the beams. Walk away from the loop that you're around. Basically, her only power is getting you away from strong pallets. That's basically it. She's a very weak killer, and honestly, she's just fun to go against because, well, if you're good at looping, you can pretty handily beat her in chase most of the time. Oh, god damn it. I haven't even gotten to your section yet, sir. So that's why Stakeout wasn't proccing. Awesome. Next up, we have Sadako. I love going up against Sadako. I think that her mechanics add a lot of unique fun to matches overall, adding a secondary objective that is quite fun to go through. Yeah, plus, I like her animations a lot. I like the mechanic, like the different mechanics that she has that you have to look out for. Needing to transport the tapes is fun. Her stealth is fun to go against. She's probably my favorite stealth character to go up against. Yeah, I think, honestly, I quite like going up against Sadako. Plus, her Mori and Condemn animations are just glorious and super fun to see. So even if I get tunneled out by a Sadako, I'm just like, hell yeah, look at that animation. Next up is Huntress. I love fighting Huntress because I love her lullaby. Her lullaby is just so relaxing, and I adore it. It's eerie and creepy and so nice. I adore it so much. I also think the mind game of doing loops with her is far more interesting than most other characters. The only thing that drags her down is due to server latency and hitboxes not being in your favor a lot of the times as Survivor, but, you know, I can hardly blame that on the killer. That's more on the server. And, you know, that a lot of the time, whenever you see an explanation on why the hitboxes work the way they do, like, I get it. But it could feel a little bit unfair at times. Which is why she's middle of the road, where most of the time she's good, but sometimes it's a bit rough. And Iridescent Head can be a bit of bullshit, let's be honest. And speaking of an Iridescent making a character bullshit, let's go on to Wraith. A very simple killer, very simple stealth, very simple loop. Fun tools to work around. His ability to zoom around is quite fun to go against. However, I think the Iridescent add-on that makes it so that you cannot hear his clapper, yeah, that sucks. I'm gonna be honest. It's just not fun to go up against, because it's like, well, that's what, you know, it's supposed to be a warning for survivors that they're about to get jumped. And, well, it kinda makes the game not fun if there's no warning and you get hit out of nowhere. I don't even know if Spine Chill procs with that, to be honest. It straight up might not. Hold on, I'll go for this unhook. Let's go, bitch. We out. Alright, the next killer on my list is the Pig. Now, Pig is a fun killer to go against because she has a very fun chase mechanic with with her ambush attack, which is quite fun to deal with, to be honest. And I enjoy killers that have a secondary objective, and the traps are quite fun. Honestly, they add a lot of tension to the game, and I enjoy that quite a lot. I do dislike some aspects, such as the Pig being able to target someone with a trap on them to occasionally ensure the fact that they're going to get a kill through it, which does suck, but it happens so rarely that it's not that big of an issue. I'd say the bigger issue is the fact that because of your teammates, you can end up dying to the trap, and the RNG-based part of her kit is a bit unfun to deal with personally, but it's not the end of the world overall. I feel like we're about to get barbecue and chilied against this nurse, but I don't have my my steak out to let me know. I guess not. Alright, moving down to the some problems tier, we have Pinhead. Now, Pinhead, on his own, very fun to face. I like dealing with the chains. I think it's a smart mechanic of slowing things down. Oh, fascinating. I think it's a fun oh, no. Hold on. I think I might have to deal with this. Or, wait, no. It appears fine, actually. Okay. Girl, come back. I got you. Girl, come back. What are you doing? Girl, stand still. When it comes to Pinhead, the one main issue is the fact that you can be screwed over by being a solo queue survivor and not knowing whether or not someone is going for the box, forcing you to potentially waste your own time going for the box only to find out that someone else already has, or be stuck in a situation where you are injured or in a bad position and can't get the box yourself, and no one else does, locking you into a chain hunt that's not your fault. It can suck in that regard, I will be perfectly honest. That's the main reason he is this low on the list. But I still think overall they are enjoyable to fight, but they have some problematic elements that kinda need to be addressed. I'm not entirely sure how they would, though. Spirit is an interesting case where, personally, I just don't enjoy going up against her. I don't know if there's any particular part of her kit that causes it. I just don't enjoy her way of just playing. I don't like the fact that her mechanic often revolves around mind games of doing quite literally nothing, and there being nothing you can do about it. I think that it's not particularly fun in a lot of circumstances. It's not like she's the worst character in the game to face off against or anything, but she could be far more fun to face. I feel like a lot of her issues stem from the fact that she is an older killer, and they didn't really think how strong her ability would be in the early days. Much like Nurse, but Nurse I feel like is still fun. I just somehow entirely lost her there. I have no idea what happened. Next up is Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head, in a perfect world, could easily be in the S tier, because they're a ranged killer with a lot of interesting aspects to it. And then you have the issue of the fact they can tunnel you out of the game with zero effort at all. It's a real problem, honestly. I think that is their main detractor, is that realistically, they can just tunnel you out of the game relentlessly, and it's not fun. Artist is an interesting case where I don't like playing against her because she's kind of boring. There's not much interesting about her, and honestly, I think that it would be much more fun to go up against pretty much anyone else. And all of the noises that she makes, I just hate them. I really do. I feel like they are very annoying. Like, far more than any killer other than another one, which I will get to. Also, Arnia is AFK, so there's nothing we can do. Oh well. I have to get rid of Decisive Strike because literally I'm the only person who can go for this rescue. Yeah, I feel like Artist is just not very fun to go up against. I don't like her mechanics, and I don't like her gameplay loop. It's just not fun. A lot of times it feels like I should get hit when I don't, and a lot of the times I get hit when I really shouldn't. It sucks. And then we have Legion. You know, Legion, I do love them as characters, but God, do I dislike some aspects of them. Because most of your match against Legion, you're going to be spending it mending. It's very annoying to just deal with the same stuff over and over. Personally, that is like my main issue with it. Oh! Are they using the... They might be using the funny add-on that lets them move faster. I haven't seen them blink twice. Will I be able to get out with this build? No. Oh well. I'm not that concerned. Yeah, Legion is just a mending simulator. I'm reporting that Nia at the end of the game. I am genuinely going to report them for not... You know what? I'm just going to get out of this game. Because this is not fun. No, 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 no. Oh, why would you do that? Shit. Well, that is the inverse of fun. Is the Nia still around here? Because I'm going to... If she's around here, I am 100% going to attempt to lead the killer to her. Please hit me. Thank you. Pick me up. Yay, 3 points. The Nia is not playing. I feel bad for unhooking her. Next up, we have Plague, which goes into a very interesting category, which is called I hate playing against this killer for the sole purpose of dear God, my ears. The vomiting noises that both the Plague and my character make quite literally make me sick in the real world. And I think it sucks. I don't like the fact that my enjoyment of a game is dependent down to, it's dependent entirely on, you know, the fact that the sounds that they make, actually make me feel ill. I think that sucks. I am not a fan at all. Okay, now is the time to go. Starstruck? On Nurse? In this day? Okay. I respect the hustle. I'm leaving that girl on the hook. She deserves it. Oh my god, she knows where I am. Shit, there's a hook there. I need to move. Shit. Good. I'm glad you died. Oh shit, there's a hook there too. Whoops. Please don't. Okay, you know what? You let me live twice, technically. That's fair. I am reporting the Nia. That is some shit that I absolutely abhor. I hate when people don't want to play the game but decide instead of just leaving and letting a bot take over, they just stay in and waste time and energy. Name and shame, and also piece of shit. Next up on our tier list, we have Michael Myers. Michael Myers is a kind of problematic character at this point, where he was a very early addition to the game who has not changed at all since his introduction, which results in a big issue referred to as just being outdated. There's very little that you can do against him in the way that, well, if one of your teammates is AFK, you end up getting downed because one of your teammates is AFK. It allows Michael to stalk up to tier 3 and, well, you get downed. Or you can get insta-killed, depending on add-ons. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, insta-kills kinda, like, insta-kills entire death. The downside presented to Michael for his insta-kill is not a big enough downside to make his insta-kill, like, seem fair. It's, well, and plus the fact is, like, if someone's AFK and just feeds him all the stock that he needs, well, then you can get insta-killed for doing nothing wrong. It really sucks. That's the main issue with him. Freddy and Clown, both of them are on the same tier of just, they're boring. There's very little to them. They're just boring to go up against. Clown is a bit lower because he has the issue of messing with the screen of a survivor, which is not good, to say the very least, especially for someone with motion sickness. That can be really bad. Really, really, really bad. How did I lose so many stacks of distortion in one go? What the fuck? I just lost, like, 3 stacks of distortion? Hello? Next up is Knight, and it's unfortunate because Knight has a lot of potential to be a very fun character, but the fact of the matter is, Knight right now has no chase potential, and it's far better to just, you know, proxy camp, and it's far better to proxy camp, or what's it called, or 3-gen. Like, his guards do not have any chase ability right now. It's a bit better than it was this time, well, not this time last year, but after Made for This was initially released, Knight did not have a power. It really sucked. Knight had a major issue in that his guard's speed was not high enough to make it so that people could actually get caught with Made for This. I'm glad that no one has attempted to help this other Lori. I enjoy that. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy, who is full health, by the way. Never been hooked, full health. I can't see prestiges here. That might be a brand new Nancy. Nancy, what the fuck are you doing? Do not let that Lori die, for the love of God. I'm going to be annoying here and force a decisive strike on this man. It's the only way that they can escape. There we are. Okay. Yeah, Knight does not have a chase power. Knight has a proxy camping and, what? Okay, that's insane. He was able to get a lethal rush up that fast after... Oh my gosh, that's some bullshit. Next up is Nemesis. Nemesis himself has literally nothing to do with this. It's just the people who play Nemesis enjoy tunneling. Not as much as other killers on lower down, though. We'll get to that. Next up, we have Hag, the proxy camping queen herself. Oh my god. Okay, can you please not blight? Really? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to mend in a corner. I love the fact I brought distortion, that way I could, you know, just have a fun game doing nothing but generators, but nope. I was found instantly and have been in chase or on hook the entire game. Hey bud, I need a little patch me up. Next up is Hag. Hag is the proxy camping queen. That is her purpose. She is too slow to chase properly. Her traps are very inconsistent and not great for immediate damage. It's just a bit of a nightmare, frankly. Yeah, it's not fun. She is entirely unaffected by the anti-camp measures. It sucks. She's outdated in her design and kind of needs a rework overall. Next up is Trickster. Dear God. The update to him has made him very obnoxious to fight. He was kind of obnoxious to fight before, but now even more so. It's just not fun. It's just not fun. Realistically, at the end of the day, he's not fun to go against. It feels like you get downed no matter what. Or sometimes it feels like you just juice the man entirely and there's nothing he can do. It's quite genuinely just like a steamroll either way, either in your direction or his, and after the update, it feels more weighted in his area. Next up is Doctor. I hate the screams. I hate the screams. I hate the screams. I hate the screams. I hate the fact that it moves skill checks all over the place. And pretty much every single Doctor runs the exact same perks to just make the game as annoying as possible. Which is very much not fun. And I don't enjoy it. That's basically it. Like, when was the last time you saw a Doctor that wasn't running Merciless Storm? Yeah. Not fun. Not fun. Next up is Xenomorph, the alien. Well, not fun. Not fun to fight. It feels like with the turrets, a lot of times, like, if your team sets up smart, It feels like they never have an ability and you don't have to worry about anything in the world. And other times your team does not set up flame turrets and the hitboxes of the tail decide to entirely fuck you over and make it impossible to do anything. It's just not fun. Next up is Singularity, which I'm going to be honest, at this point is quite literally the most problematically designed character in the entire game. And I am going to definitely hot take and controversial statement. Singularity is better at holding a 3-gen than Skull Merchant ever was. Yeah, Skull Merchant can, like, expose you if you are in her drone radius. Singularity can watch every single gen on the map without moving and teleport to them whenever he wants. Plus, his ability to proxy camp is basically unrivaled other than anyone, like, unless your name is Hag, your ability to proxy camp as Singularity is pretty much unrivaled. It's like, Knight and Hag are the main problems. It's crazy. The fact that no one complains about Singularity, meanwhile Skull Merchant is still the face of the problematic Dead by Daylight community right now, it sucks, because Skull Merchant is way worse. I mean, Singularity is way worse than Skull Merchant ever was, and Singularity is still designed like it to this day. It's shitty. At the end of the day, it's just shitty. Next up is Chucky, and oh my god, nerf this man. Please nerf this man. If there is a man that needs to be nerfed, it's that one. Above Blight, above Spirit, above Wesker and Nurse. Chucky is so incredibly poorly designed in a chase power that it's just impossible to understand what the hell they were thinking. His scamper into a rush, just being able to scamper through a window at the same speed as a survivor and then perform a rush to catch up with them, is crazy. The fact that that is a thing you can do is beyond me. It's just... I know they playtested Chucky for a very long time. It feels like they didn't. It feels like they straight up did not think of how it could be abused by people playing the game. Also, overall, it seems like they have been some of the most toxic killers. Of course, they aren't the toxic killer, which is where we get to the worst killer and my least favorite one. Motherfucking Ghostface. Dear Lord. Where do I even start? Where do I even start? His ability to camp is incredibly strong due to the fact that, oops, you can quite literally just stand outside the anti-camp radius, wait for someone to unhook, oops, they have now been marked, now they are dead. Oops, easy hook trade. Oh, and they can also teabag as fast as a survivor, which instantly makes them 1,000 times more capable of being toxic. Then you have the fact that they quite literally just, even more than Nemesis, even more than Bubba, more than any character in the game, they tunnel you relentlessly. And to this day, the only killer that has called me homophobic slurs in the endgame chat was a Ghostface. I swear, every match against a Ghostface is just me just thinking to myself, I should leave. I should leave. I should just give these people a DC bot. It's just not worth it to stay in a match against a Ghostface. All they know how to do is teabag, camp hooks, tunnel off hooks, mark survivors unhooking. It sucks. It really does. I don't understand why. Singularity has one thing above Ghostface, and that's the fact that when you unhook someone as against a singularity, you do not have to deal with them immediately being able to teleport to you. They can still teleport to you pretty fast, but they intentionally built in a mechanic that made it so they cannot camp as easily. They make it so it charges their meter a lot slower. Doesn't prevent them entirely from doing it, which is why it's still a problem. Meanwhile, Ghostface is... who cares? Whatever. They can mark at the exact same speed. It's bullshit. Absolute, complete, and utter bullshit. Like, every aspect of Ghostface's design is dumb. The ability to expose Ghostface is broken. You cannot expose him consistently. You can't. It's an incredibly shitty character. They're always toxic, and I feel bad because I like Ghostface outside of this game. This game makes me dislike the character. It's like, do you know how much I enjoy Matthew Lillard? I love that man. I fucking love Scooby-Doo and I love FNAF. And, you know, I adore all the different Scream references they put in, even though, you know, they can't officially put anything from Scream. But anytime I go against a Ghostface, it fills me just with, oh, here we go again. And that's it. That is my list. I know it's going to be a controversial statement, but fuck Ghostface. Specifically in Dead by Daylight. Otherwise, they're cool. In this game, though... ugh. Genuinely, it hurts my soul anytime I go against a Ghostface. If you or someone you love plays Ghostface, be better. Simply be better. Be someone that people can look up to. Do not play the way every other Ghostface does. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.